Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is backup routes. Well, now you've heard of backup plans, right? Having something to do. In case your first plan falls apart, you can go to the next one and have a backup plan. Do that and back. I really wanted to talk about backup routes, meaning routes, meaning roads, meaning someplace to go when where you want to go doesn't look like it's the place to go. So I've always kind of been good at geography and map reading and knowing my way around, and it's served me time and time very well over the years. Now today I was just hustling to drop something off and I want to get back on the freeway to head for home, and I look on the freeway and just at the last moment I see that it's just jam-packed slow. And so I don't want to, I hate to be on the freeway when the traffic isn't free flowing. So I always like to have a backup route, a way to go that isn't the freeway. I always want that in the back of my mind. I want to know where should I go if the freeway is backed up. I think that's kind of critical to your happiness, because to me there's really nothing. It's one of the more frustrating things in life is to be in a traffic jam and not moving. I'd rather be on a city street and stopping every block, at least moving ahead, than being in a freeway and not knowing if you're going to go ahead. At least if you're on a city street, you know you're going to be able to move forward. You only have to go up to the next block to maybe to have another backup route. It's more satisfying to be free in that manner, that you can always make an adjustment. And that's what I mean about the backup route. You always want to, you don't want to rely so much on your phones. You should have a pretty good idea of your city and where you're at. And if you're in a new city, you should be spending a little bit of time with the maps and have a pretty good idea where you might go. I mean, your phone, that will, you put in the address, it'll evaluate that for you. And that's a good thing. I think the Google and the other map making people, they've figured out that this alternate routes is a very a nice thing to do, and I would just get that in your own head, a backup route, so you know where to go. You don't have to rely on your phone always. Your phone might be dead, it might be wrong. Why don't you just do it? You be the brains. You can use your phone and it's pretty handy, but in addition to that, you have the backup routes. Know where else you could go if your normal route is full. And you start by understanding when is the natural times that your normal route is going to be not good. Like in the morning between 7 and 9, in the evening between 3 and 6. It's always going to be poor driving at those times, right? So you might go a little before that, or a little after that, or at the beginning or the end, rather than right in the middle. Right in the middle, you're certainly going to be frustrated with traffic. So I rarely do that in the middle, right, unless I absolutely have to. And I always want to have my backup routes, especially if there's someplace I got to be. Like I've kind of reoriented my work life, so I rarely have to be there at any particular time in the morning. I have a normal starting time and a normal ending time, but I don't have to be there. I've adjusted myself and my relationship with my employment that isn't a thing. But what is a thing is there's always going to be like meetings throughout the day, and those you have to get to. But usually the people who set these meetings have enough sense, to myself included, to make the meetings more at a better time of the day, 10, 11, 1, 2, and they tend to avoid like the 8, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. early morning meetings, because those are hard to get to with the traffic, and they tend to avoid the late 3 and 4 p.m. ones, because those will put you right in the traffic when you're leaving. You see what I mean? There's ways, your alternate schedules alternate routes to make things flow much better for you. And that's what I'm getting at. You want to be able to flow through life. You don't want to be stuck on a freeway where the next exit is 5 miles away and you're going at 0.01 mile an hour, right? You're never going to get there. It's going to seem like you're there forever. The other times that are bad are usually in rain. When it rains, the freeways are usually slow because somebody will have an accident and that will slow things down. And then snow. Where I'm from in the Midwest, it snows in the winter, so the freeways get very unpleasantly slow in the winter from the snow. So give that idea some thought. Develop some backup routes.